This thing is incredible. I just spat a little bit on my MacBook Pro. Apple took something from the year 2035 and brought it to us Canadians in July of 2024. So this video is more for the older generation, maybe 50, 55 and up. This is for people who weren't born with an iPhone or an iPad in your hands, and you're wondering if you should add the Apple Vision Pro to your growing collection of Apple devices. This will be 10 things that I love and 5 things that I hate about the Apple Vision Pro. And I was trying to decide if I should do the bad news first or the good news first, and I landed on the sandwich. The initial setup and the eye tracking stuff is so cool. It's straight out of the future. When I first put on the Apple Vision Pro, I see the beautiful Apple logo, and then I just see my office exactly as it is, and the word hello just appears in beautiful writing floating in the air right in front of me. I look at the thing I want to do and then pinch with my finger, and the eye calibration stuff is amazing. I'll show you that right now. You just look at a dot and pinch with your finger. It's like straight out of the future. And I can just look at and move something, pinch and drag like this with my hand. I can hit the little X in the bottom left corner. I can just look where I want the cursor and it goes there. I can look at a word that I want to select and go pinch, pinch, and it selects that word. It is pretty incredible. Is realness a word? Reality? The reality of the realness of a window floating in my living room that feels very opaque and solid, and it's like it's actually there. I had the settings window open in my living room and I wanted to turn on my kitchen light, and I actually kind of awkwardly went around and behind the settings window instead of just going straight through it. And I only realized after I had already done it that I treated that window as if it was an actual obstacle in my living room. I love the Macness of it. This one is more for the die-hard Mac people who've been Mac fans since the beginning. You can have multiple windows. So I can have a window here, a window here, and a window here, kind of in depth, and I can look at the one behind it to just close that window or pinch the bottom of that window and move it over to here, and pinch and scroll, and I can just look at the little X when I want to close a window. Just look down, look at the X, and pinch with your finger. It just feels very Mac-like. So from my perspective, I have notes in front of me, closest to me. I have the website second, and then I have the recipes kind of third and furthest in depth. I just look at notes and pinch with my fingers and it brings it up. I look at the website, pinch with my fingers, brings it up. I can also pull it closer to me so it's closer than the notes, and then just look at the little X right here, pinch with my fingers to close that, move notes over. It's very, very Mac-like. Very intuitive, very friendly. I can put the recipes over here if I want to, and then just make them bigger if I want to. It's pretty futuristic. This one was kind of a surprise and a bonus to me. Horizontal computing. Often I am tired of standing, tired of sitting. I drive a lot. I'm at my desk a lot. I'll just lie down on my floor, on my carpet, and do Shavasana, do a number 4 stretch with my legs, and I'll have my phone kind of above me. Sometimes I drop it on my face. That's fun, especially when it's the very heavy iPhone 15 Pro. But lying on the floor with the Vision Pro on my face, I can make my whole ceiling into photos and just swipe through the photos from today and pick and choose the ones I like the best in full, not full screen, full ceiling. And that blew me away. I can just be lying on the floor, get a text message, and answer the text message while still just lying there by looking at things and tapping with my fingers. I'll show you what that looks like now. I just press the app button, pinch on photos, position it how I want, right on the ceiling here, choose a cute photo, and then just make it bigger like this, and voila. I can mark favorites with the 3 little dots in the top right, pinch and go left, go right, and really if I want to actually zoom in, pinch and drag like this, it's really incredible to just see this on the whole ceiling. Environments. Apple has made this thing called environments, where I can just be in my office here talking to you on my camera and turn this little knob up here, and I transport myself to be next to a lake. Oops, I accidentally pressed for apps. There we go. I can be next to a lake. It is amazing. I can look behind me, above me, and it's I'm actually no longer in my office. I can make it night mode if I want, have a beautiful starry background here, and then hey, I want to watch a movie like this. Just put it right in the sky, right there. Hate is a bit of a strong word that I'm using for marketing purposes, but things that I dislike about the Apple Vision Pro. First and foremost, the disconnect from my wife, from loved ones. I mean, imagine talking to somebody who's wearing those sort of douchey, reflective sunglasses that cover your whole face, or opaque ski goggles. I think that we get a lot of subtle and necessary conversation cues from looking into someone's eyes. Are they even looking at you? How are they absorbing the information that you're presenting, etc.? I'm going to be an adult about it, and if I'm going to say more than yes or no, I'm just going to take off the Apple Vision Pro to talk to people. I don't ever want my kids seeing me using it. It creates a disconnect from them that I don't want. I already feel bad about being on my phone and try to avoid that. This is worse. This is more of a disconnect. This was kind of a surprising one for me. Maybe it shouldn't have been, but the solitude of it, the loneliness, in a sense, of seeing incredible, mind-blowing, beautiful things inside this world, but I'm the only one who can see it. I'm somebody who I love to share experiences or point to things and say, "Did you see that? That's incredible." And you can't do that in the Apple Vision Pro. I'm seeing these breathtaking landscapes, and anybody who's looking at me just sees me wearing the goggles and occasionally using expletives or gasping or pointing and moving my hands around, this kind of thing. So it's an interesting type of loneliness for me, for someone who likes to show and share things with people. Probably in the future, other people who are wearing the Apple Vision Pro are going to be able to sit next to you in that sort of VR world. I bet that's coming. It's already, they already have it for watching the same movie together, so I'm sure there's going to be more of that. But just with my wife, I can't show her the things that are blowing my mind. The battery and the power are kind of interesting because the battery is only 2 or 3 hours, and so if I'm using the Apple Vision Pro as a standing desk kind of thing, then I've got this cable dangling behind my ear, battery in my back pocket, plugged into the wall. It's kind of awkward. It makes sense. It's logical, but it's kind of awkward. And I haven't run into this yet, but if you want to be using this on a longer flight or bus or train trip, whatever, and there isn't a working power plug. I've had that happen before, that it's just a dead power plug. You only get 2, maybe 3 hours out of the battery. Also, I'm sure that's something that Apple's going to fix or improve on in the future, but that's a real thing right now. It's a dislike. This one is maybe more something that I would notice. I'm pretty particular about stuff like this, but the pass-through cameras, the cameras that allow me to see the space that I'm in, are kind of blurry, a little bit low resolution. They are sharp enough that I could see a spider on my ceiling, but looking around, especially if it's in low light, it looks a little bit shimmering, and a little bit blurry. I'm sure Apple's going to have better pass-through cameras, but that's something that I noticed in this one. Also kind of particular and nitpicky, the eye tracking is fantastic, but it's not super precise. I was watching on a website, I was trying to watch a YouTube video and make it full screen, and when I look at the full screen button, pinch with my fingers, and it would jump the scrubber over to that spot. So it was like, they were just too close together, these things on the website. Eye tracking is precise, but it's not that precise, or maybe I needed to recalibrate with the eye tracking. But I think that websites in general are going to need an overhaul in order to be better in spatial, VR, AR kind of computing. Back to the things that I love. Panorama photos. I've taken a bunch over the years. We've been able to do them with iPhones from probably just about the first iPhone. I've often taken panoramas to try to capture a beautiful vista. They've never really mattered. You can't actually properly enjoy a panorama on your phone or your computer. But that is completely different and completely changed in the Apple Vision Pro. Panoramas, and even all of the old ones that I've taken, suddenly they matter. They wrap around you in this, you actually get to go back to the place where you took the panorama. It actually feels as if you're there. So panoramas didn't used to matter, but people would take panorama photos and not really be able to enjoy them properly. Now you can, and now they matter. I'll show you what that looks like now. I'll just open up this second panorama, and of course I could move it wherever I want, but I want this to wrap around me. Just look at that icon up in the top right, boom. And I am at Rebecca Spit on Quadra Island, and it is just gorgeous. High res, all the way around me. It really feels like I'm sitting in the spot where I took this panorama photo. This one kind of surprised me, but reading a blog post or reading a website in the Apple Vision Pro in this VR, AR kind of world. AR stands for augmented reality. Reading a website in reader view or reader mode, this thing that Apple has created that basically just takes the actual contents of the website and shows you only that, minus all of the ads and clutter. That was surprisingly enjoyable for me, just being able to read a blog post, super crisp, super sharp. I'll show you what that one looks like now. You can just move the website around with your hand. If I want to see without ads, I just look up to the little AA and then I go show reader, and now I can see just this gorgeous web page. It's just really well done. Kadir from my team figured out how to grab a website. You just grab the address bar and move it over to here, and it opens a second window. So now I can go to Prime Day deals or whatever. If you want to go reader mode on this one, you can do that. If you want to go to the back to school sales, pinch and hold on that one and then open a new window. And now I've got 3 windows open, put this one into reader mode. It's really quite slick, and I can see where this is going. I can see the future of this. spatial videos, 3D movies, immersive videos and movies. These are the cream of the crop. I think that's the right expression. These are like the best of what the Apple Vision Pro can do. And this one is the most tragic out of everything that I've talked about so far, because I can't show you what those look like. Even if I put it up on the video, it's nothing compared to seeing this stuff all around you. There's parkour videos where you look down and you see this 100-foot drop down the side of a building, and rhinos that are stampeding next to you, and it is like you're just standing in the middle of the stampede. That whole category is incredible, and I know for sure that National Geographic, all these different photographers, videographers, they're going to start capturing nature and scenery in VR video. I can't even show you a screen recording because it just goes black. This has been true for maybe 10 or 15 years. You try to share screen with any copyright content, Netflix, Prime Video, anything, and it just shows a black screen. Take my word for it, or go to the Apple Store and ask for a demo so you can see it. It's incredible. I mentioned before, I sit a lot, I drive a lot, I'm at my desk working a lot. Using the Apple Vision Pro as a standing desk is fantastic. You can just lift your Mac screen out of the Mac and have it really big in front of you, have a couple other windows left and right next to you. It was just very nice to not be sitting. It's very nice to not need to invest in a big hardware desk type setup that, a standing desk kind of thing. I'll show you what that looks like now. I just go connect to my screen there. Boom, it lifts out and it's in front of me now. And then I just stand up and I can look down, grab this and move it up to here and then make it bigger. It is really quite something to just have access to my whole Mac this way. I've got a platform thingy that I can put a keyboard and mouse onto, and then I just look over here, hit the apps button, and I can bring up Safari there and finish reading this article anytime over here. I can bring up the maybe photos behind me, bring up a favorite photo so that this is just now hanging out behind me. And I've got my whole standing workspace with a keyboard and mouse here controlling my Mac. It's really straight out of the future. This one is kind of a funny one because the keyboard and how the keyboard works in the air, I love it. It's not faster than an actual keyboard. It's not more efficient. It's not saving me time, but it's so cool. And you can either tap in the air with your finger to type, or you can look at a letter and then pinch with your finger to select that letter. Dictation works great. I don't know. It's not an efficiency thing. It's not saving me time. It's just really enjoyable, and it feels like I'm in the future. I've got a blank note in front of me, and it's time to start typing or brainstorming. I just pinch in the text in here, and this super cool floating keyboard just comes up right in front of me, and I can grab it and move it where I want. But you can just poke the air and just say HELLO. I think it's so cool. And then if I want to delete this, I can just look at that word and pinch. It deletes that. Or I can just look at the H. I look at the H and pinch. And then I look at the E, look at the L, pinch twice, look at the O. And it types that way as well. It's really, really, it is very, very, very cool. In conclusion, I love it. I think that you will love it. I think it's not quite ready yet for mass consumption. I told my wife a couple days ago, I think it's gonna go. I think that it needs to be lighter, it needs to be cheaper, it needs to have better battery power. That's all the stuff that Apple does all the time anyway. Every new phone gets better, gets a better battery, lasts longer, etc. The laptops keep getting thinner and thinner and lighter. So version 2, the Apple Vision Pro version 2 is going to be, it's just going to be easier for people to use it and get on board with it. So in a year, in 2 years, whenever they come out with the new version, I think more people are going to get it. Videographers, nature photographers are going to be taking more and more content. That's the immersive video, the 3D video. I think they've done it. I think the future is here. It's coming, whether we like it or not. The experience of my photos of my kids, it brought tears to my eyes a couple of times. Some of the older videos of when one of my sons was born. It's incredible. I'm not going to say go buy it because it's $5,000 Canadian or $3,500 US, but keep your eyes out for the next iteration of this one. I think you'll love it. If you found this helpful and you want some private Mac coaching with me or someone from my team, just head to macandhome.com/booking. We work with people all over the world. We'll help you with whatever is on your Mac problems list, and you will never feel judged or shamed for whatever mess you are in. You're all adults. I can swear, and you'll be okay. Because you're 50 or 55 and older, and we swear, and that's okay.